All right, so let's just review. I know we've been covering it, but some details that are coming up that are good to be reminded of. When you go for, so we opened his guard, right? Close your guard. So, right, let's just assume we open the guard, we get our knee in there, boom, we're there. I'm gonna attack this foot, right? Just also so we can move the camera. When I sit, remember we're windshield wipering, right? So if I'm attacking the leg on this side, I windshield wiper my feet to this side. So that way, so my repeat leg can come over, right? So what's important, what I'd like you guys to think about is, so I've heard Eric say it and I've said it a million times, get off your elbow. Get off your elbow, right? So when you sit down, I want you to give this hand a job, and this hand job will be to control this leg's ankle, right? So as I sit down, I push down, slide to the ankle, okay? Slide to the ankle. The reason is, and we've talked about this before, every single escape for him, he needs this leg, right? He needs to get up on it. Remember we talked about him getting up on the knee, facing knee, peeling off the reap, right? All this kind of stuff that we've been drilling, so go back. So when I sit, I don't want him to do that. I know he's gonna try and do that. When I sit back, he's gonna try to sit up. So I control the ankle. So I sit in, control that ankle, boom, right? Now if you're up on your elbow, like a lot of you, you just basically cut your arm length in half. I can only now control anything within this range, and my arm has an added job of supporting my weight, right? But if I'm just laying down, I have full use of my arm and a lot more range, right? So the sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, you can enter at any point. It's kind of like, you know, it's like the stages of mourning, you know? There's denial and all that shit, but like you could go right into 1, you could start with 2, you could start with 3, depends on the situation. You can revert back and forth, but they are a sequence. This is 1, right? The reason 2 is the next one in the sequence is because let's say I lose this and he starts to get up, boom, and that's when I go to 2. I'm still trying to control that leg. And then what I like to do is just tuck this away safely under here, right? 2, as we saw when I was demonstrating with Fabrice, was not good for me because his legs were so damn long that I could barely stretch him. So that leg would just pop off my foot. Pop your leg off. That's how I get 3. Now I have 3. Right, he escapes 2 and I have 3. So if you did 3 from this sequence, you will have both feet hooking there. Right? I still want to control this. If I go to 4, my leg replaces my hand. So I go over, pull him close, cross my feet, 4. Right, so that's why it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, and don't be up here. Just lay down. Especially when we're doing low side attacks, you want to lay down. Right. So one more time. So break open the guard. Boom. Hold that ankle. 1. I lose the ankle. He gets away. 2. Right? I lose that. 3. Grab that back. 4. I want to use that hand for something else. Now I have the total leg knot. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, like I said before, you could switch. You can go right to 3. If you can go right to 3, for example, from the beginning, that's even better, right? So let's say I'm here, we break it open, boom, and here's another reason why I want you to get off your elbow. Remember that range thing I talked about? When you fall, push this way out there so you can get your 3. I can't do that if I go to my elbow. If I go to my elbow, I'm only pushing them that far. Make sense? So if I fall all the way down, I'm pushing them further away to give myself room. So here the only difference between 3 as your initial entry and 3 in the sequence is that my other foot will still be over here, like position 1. If I did 3 after a failed position 2, I would have both feet under here. Neither's wrong, it just depends how you got there. All right? So just remember, in all this, listen, every single thing we do is like, I saw some people crossing their feet wrong. They were here, here, and then crossing like that. That's wrong. That doesn't have the right amount of pressure. First of all, and second, look, just lift my foot up. Push this, no, you can lift this foot right off, right? Because it's resting on top of this and resting on top of him. There's no locking mechanism. So he can just lift it, right, and start working on escape. I need something to lock it. So everything is over and under. Weaving, over and under. Right, my leg is over his leg, under his other leg. To stop him from doing what? To stop him from peeling this off. Boom, right? So if I go over and under, that stops him from peeling. Now it gives him another problem to solve, right? Same thing with this. Go over, under, lock it. Everything we do is over and under, right? Navy ride, like if I do a Navy ride from here, over and under, right? If I'm doing arm locks, everything is over and under. It's all locks, under and over, right? That's how you lock when you're doing anything with limbs. And then look, this hand is over him, under me. Everything's over and under. That's how you create. Look, if I did 2 unders with my left hand, right? So, I mean, I could still maybe switch to something else. But the point is, if you want to lock something in, it's always with overs and unders. Make sense? So that's the whole sequence. So go back to your partners, just review it again. Try to go to position 3 right from the initial start. Right? One more time. Right from the opening of the guard. Boom. Remember, push it far away so I can get that foot under there. That's why I want you guys to try to get to 3 from the beginning. Now with this, remember you have a jacket. Some people have been too high on the leg. There's a couple of things you can do from here. If you want to, this is a bit of a cheat, a little hack, positional hack. If you think you can't get your wrist all the way up there, even if maybe they have super long legs, maybe it's Jabari, and you're not gonna get there. You take your knuckle, your middle knuckle, rest your fist on your hip, and put your middle knuckle right behind his calf, and just bring your hips in. That's it. This, your big knuckle, right in there, right? But to the point, if you need to get back here and you're too high on their leg, use this butterfly to hip out. You curl up, shrimp, slide back, grab that nice and tight. Then you hip back in, right? So that way now nice and high. With the gi, you don't have to hold your hands. You have a handle. Use it, right? Then you got the lock. Remember this turning up into him, dropping your elbow, rolling your shoulder. Like that. All right. So everybody, grab your partner. Try to go to position 3 initially. Get that. Practice your shrimp from the leg control position. Slide back to a tighter thing, tighter grip. Lock it in place, and get the finish. Cool? Boom.